G'day everybody, and welcome back to my channel where I am reading through the new player's handbook and I'm going through the primary classes for you. Today we are going through Rogue. Now, Rogues are a interesting class to say the least, and they have a bit of a reputation as being the troublemakers of the group. Now, Rogue's primary abilities, excuse me while I turn down my volume here. There we go. Now, your rogue's primary abilities are in Dexterity. They get a D8 for their hit point die per rogue level. They are proficient in Dexterity and Intelligence, and they're proficient in any of the four abilities: Athletics, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Investigation, Perception, Persuasion, Sleight of Hand, or Stealth. And then they are proficient with simple melee weapons and martial weapons that have the Finesse or Light property. This is very important for later. They are proficient in Thieves' Tools, and also in Light Armor. And for their starting equipment, they get to choose two. Choose two from A or B. A being leather armor, 2 daggers, a short sword, a short bow, 20 arrows, a quiver, Thieves' Tools, a burglar's pack, and 8 gold pieces, or 100 gold pieces. Now, rogues rely on cunning, stealth, and their foes' vulnerabilities to get the upper hand in any situation. They have a knack for finding the solution to just about any problem. A few even learn magical tricks to supplement their other abilities. Many rogues focus on stealth and deception, while others refine skills that help them in a dungeon environment, such as climbing, finding and disarming traps, and opening the locks. In combat, rogues prioritize subtle strikes over brute strength. They would rather make one precise strike than wear an opponent down with a barrage of blows. Some rogues began their careers as criminals, while others used their cunning to fight crime. Whatever a rogue's relation to the law, no common criminal or officer of the law can match the subtle brilliance of the greatest rogues. So, at level 1, you get everything up here, and as you multi-class, you get everything up here as well. And at level 1, you gain Expertise. You gain expertise in 2 skill proficiencies of your choice. Sleight of Hand and Stealth are recommended if you have proficiency in them. At Rogue level 6, you gain expertise in 2 more of your skill proficiencies of your choice. This is where the Rogue really shines out the gate at level 1. You also gain Sneak Attack. This is the Rogue's bread and butter. You know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack roll if you have advantage on the roll and the attack uses a finesse or ranged weapon. The extra damage's type is the same as the weapon's type. You don't need an advantage on the attack roll if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of the target. The ally doesn't have the incapacitated condition, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. The extra damage increases as you gain rogue levels, as shown in the Sneak Attack column of the Rogue Features table, which we will go over on the next page. Now, you also get Thieves' Cant. And this is a special language akin to Pig Latin that the rogues can learn. Now, they also gain, at level 1, their own Weapon Mastery, which you get to pick, and you get to pick 2. Most people will do daggers or short bows. Now, whenever you finish a long rest, you can change that over, but you could switch between the masteries of a scimitar and a short sword, for example, and be perfectly fine. The tricky thing with rogues is you have to keep it finesse or throne-based, and that can lead to interesting things, because that's the only way your sneak attack's going to work. Now, let's get in this table. Now, let's see. So at level 3, your sneak attack goes up to 2d6, and stays there until you hit level 5, where it goes up to 3. And then again at level 7, where it goes up to 4. And then at level 9, where it goes up to 5. Hello, Bean. How are you doing today? Have you come to intrude on my set? Yes, you have. Now, that 5d6 goes up to 6d6 at level 11. And then that goes up to 7 at 13, 8 at 15, 9 at 17, and 10 at 19. Now, at level 2, you're going to gain a Cunning action. Your quick thinking and agility allow you to move and act quickly on your turn. You can take one of the following actions as a bonus action. You can take the attack, dash, disengage, or hide actions. Now, at level 3, you're going to gain your Rogue subclass. And you're also going to gain the Steady Aim ability, whereas a bonus action, you can give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this feature only if you haven't moved during this turn. After you use it, your speed is 0 until the end of your turn. At level 4, you're going to gain your ability score improvement. And then at level 5, you get your Cunning Strike. You've developed Cunning Strike ways to use your sneak attack. When you deal sneak attack damage, sorry, he's messing with my camera, you can add one of the following Cunning Strike effects to each effect that has a die cost, which is the number of sneak attack damage dice you must forego to add the effect. So essentially, at this level you would have 3d6. You reduce that to 2d6 to deal one of these other abilities. So, let's go through them. If a Cunning Strike requires a saving throw, the DC equals 8, plus your Dexterity modifier and your Proficiency bonus. Now, Poison cost is 1d6. You add a toxin to your strike, forcing the target to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target has the Poison condition for 1 minute. At the end of each of its turns, the Poison target repeats the save, ending the effect on itself on a success. To use this effect, you must have a Poisoner's Kit on your person. Trip, and also 1d6. If the target is large or smaller, it must succeed on a Dexterity saving throw or have the Prone condition. There's also Withdrawal. Immediately after the attack, you move up to half your speed without provoking an attack of opportunity. This isn't bad. Honestly, back in 5th edition, I felt that Rogue was a little so I'm glad to see they've gotten a little bit of a rework here. Now, level 5, you gain Uncanny Dodge. This is one of the best features you can get in any class, and the fact that Rogue has it makes sense and is great. And you're about to find out why. When an attacker you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take the reaction to have the attack damaged against you and round down. So that's not bad. And then there's also Evasion. That one is busted. And I believe the only other class to get it is Monk. But we'll find out as we go forward. You can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain dangers. When you're subject to an effect that allows you to make a Dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, and only half damage if you fail. You don't use this feature if you have the incapacitated condition. Now, at level 7 you gain your Reliable Talent. Whenever you make an ability check that uses one of your skill or tool proficiencies, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. At level 11, you get an improved Cunning Strike. You can use up to 2 Cunning Strike effects when you deal sneak attack damage, paying the die cost for each effect. At level 14, you get Devious Strikes. You've practiced new ways to use your sneak attack deviously. The following effects are now among your Cunning Strike options. Daze, with a cost of 2d6. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or on its next turn it can only do one of the following: move or take an action or a bonus action. Knock Out. Cost is 6d6. The target must succeed on a Con saving throw, or it has the unconscious condition for 1 minute, or until it takes any damage. The unconscious target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Obscure, 3d6. The target must succeed on a Dex saving throw, or it has the blinded condition until the end of its next turn. I can see why these are 14. These are really good. Now, at level 15, you get Slippery Mind. Your Cunning Mind is exceptionally difficult to control. You gain proficiency in Wisdom and Charisma saving throws. At level 18, you gain Elusive. You are so evasive that attackers rarely gain the upper hand against you. No attack roll can have advantage against you unless you have the incapacitated condition. 19, you get your Epic Moon, and level 20, you get Stroke of Luck. You have a marvelous knack for succeeding when you need to. If you fail a D20 test, you can turn the roll into a 20. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short rest or a long rest. Now, I have one problem with that last thing. It doesn't specify if it becomes a natural 20 or not. And I'm going to see some arguments about that coming up. I can guarantee it. Because there's a lot of effects that rely on a 20. Now we're going to delve into the rogue subclasses. Alright, so kicking it off the top of the round is Arcane Trickster. So, some rogues enhance their fine-honed skills of stealth and agility with spells, learning magical tricks to aid them in their trade. Some arcane tricksters use their talents as pickpockets and burglars, while others are pranksters. So, level 3 you get spellcasting. Let's see, you get 3 cantrips, Mage Hand, and 2 other cantrips of your choice from the Wizard spell list. Mind Sliver and Minor Illusion are recommended. Whenever you gain a rogue level, you can replace one of your cantrips, except Mage Hand, with another wizard cantrip of your choice. When you reach level 10, you learn another wizard cantrip of your choice. Spell slots. The Arcane Trickster spellcasting table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your level 1 and up spells. You regain all expended spell slots when you finish a long rest. And you can prepare spells of level 1 and up. They recommend Charm Person, Disguise Self, and Fog Cloud. Now, the number of spells on your list increases as you gain rogue levels, as shown in the Prepared Spells column of the Arcane Trickster spellcasting table. Whenever that number increases, you get to choose additional wizard spells until the number of spells on your list matches the number in the Arcane Trickster spellcasting table. The chosen spells must be of a level for which you have spell slots. If you're level 7 rogue, and your list of prepared spells can only include 5 wizard spells of level 1 or 2 in any combination. So that means you can't learn, just because you're 7th level, you can't learn a 7th level spell. There is a big difference there. So, let's see. Here's our table. It looks like they are, once again, only a partial caster. So that means they're not even half. Now, friendly reminder to hydrate. Now, changing your prepared spells. Whenever you gain a rogue level, you can replace one spell on your list with another wizard spell for which you have spell slots. Your spellcasting ability is Intelligence, and your spellcasting focus, you can just use an Arcane Focus. Now, at level 3, you also get Mage Hand Ledgerman. When you cast Mage Hand, you can cast it as a bonus action, and you can make the Spectral Hand invisible. You can control the hand as a bonus action, and through it, you can make a sleight of hand check. Now, at level 9, you get Magical Ambush. If you have the invisible condition, when you cast a spell on a creature, it has disadvantage on any saving throw it makes against the spell on the same turn. Then at level 13, you gain the Versatile Trickster. You have the ability to distract targets with your Mage Hand. You can use the trip option of your Cunning Strike on a creature. You can also use that option on another creature within 5 feet of the Spectral Hand. I like this personally because a lot of people always try to do things with their Mage Hand that, per raw, they really can't. So I like that they put that in there. Now, at level 17, you become a Spell Thief. You gain the ability to magically steal the knowledge of how to cast a spell from another spellcaster. Immediately after a creature casts a spell that targets you or includes you in its area of effect, you can take a reaction to force the creature to make an intelligence saving throw. The DC is equal to your spell save DC. On a save, you negate the spell effect against you, and you steal the knowledge of the spell if it is at least a level 1 and level spell you can cast. doesn't need to be a wizard spell. For the next 8 hours, you have that spell prepared. The creature can't cast it until the 8 hours have passed. Once you steal the spell with this feature, you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. I like this as a concept. I really do. I wish it would let you steal higher level spells, though. Because at level 17, you're typically going up against enemies that, they have access to higher levels of magic. They're not as likely to hit you with a magic missile anymore. They're probably going to be hitting you with fireball. So that's my one complaint there. Now, moving right along, we have the Assassin. An assassin's training focuses on utilizing stealth, poison, and disguise to eliminate foes with deadly efficiency. While some rogues who follow this path are hired killers, spies, or bounty hunters, the capabilities of this class are equally useful for adventurers facing a variety of monstrous enemies. At level 3, you get the ability to assassinate. You're adept at ambushing a target, granting you the following benefits. Initiative. You have an advantage on initiative rolls. Surprising strikes. During the first round of each combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. If your sneak attack hits any target during that round, the target takes extra damage of the weapon's type equal to your rogue level. Then at level 3, you also gain Assassin's Tools. You just get a Disguise Kit and Poisoner's Kit, and you have proficiency with them. Now, the Surprising Strikes. That is a killer ability I've seen a lot of people use for multi-classing. So, level 9, you also gain Infiltration Expertise. You are an expert at the following techniques that aid your infiltrations. Masterful Mimicry. You can unerringly mimic another person's speech, handwriting, or both if you've spent at least 1 hour studying them. Roving Aim. Your speed isn't reduced by 0 using steady aim. At level 13, you get to Envenom Weapons. When you use the poison option of your Cunning Strike, the target also gains 2d6 poison damage whenever it fails the saving throw. This damage ignores resistance to poison damage. Ooh, I like that. Then at level 17, you get Death Strike. When you hit with your sneak attack on the first round of combat, the target must succeed on a con saving throw. DC is Dex plus your modifier and proficiency bonus, or the attack damage is doubled against the target. So, yeah, you can really see how busted that one can be. There's a good chance you could just instantly kill someone with abilities like that, provided they are at a certain level. Now here's the one I've been waiting for. Soul Knife got me excited back in 2014. I love the artwork, and I love the overall vibe of this class. So let's get in here. The Soul Knife. A soul knife strikes with the mind, cutting through barriers both physical and psychic. These rogues discover psionic power within themselves and channel it to do their roguish work. As a soul knife, your psionic abilities might have haunted you since childhood, revealing their full potential only as you experience the stress of adventure. Or you might have sought out an order of psychic adepts and spent years learning how to manifest your power. So, psionic power. You harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. It is represented by your psionic energy dice, which fuel certain powers you have from the subclass. The Soul Knife Energy Dice table shows the number of these dice you can have when you reach certain rogue levels. So, level 3, you have a D6, and you have 4 of them. Level 5, you have a D8, you have 6 of them. Level 9, you have a D8, and you have 8 of them. Level 11, you get a D10, and 8 of them. Level 13, you get a D10 and 10 of them. Level 17, it becomes a D12, and you have 12 of them. Any feature in the subclass that uses a psionic energy dice, use only the dice from the subclass. Some of your powers expend a psionic energy dice, as specified in the power's description, and you can't use a power that requires you to use a dice when your psionic energy dice are all expended. You regain one of your psionic energy die when you finish a short rest, and you regain all of them when you finish a long rest. Now you also have a psi-bolstered knack. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll one psionic energy dice and add the number rolled to the check, potentially turning failure into success. The die is expended only if the roll then succeeds. Psychic Whispers. You can establish a telepathic communication between yourself and others. As a magic action, choose one or more creatures you can see, up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, and then roll one psionic energy die. For a number of hours equal to the number rolled, the chosen creatures can speak telepathically with you, and you can speak telepathically with them. To send or receive a message, no action required. You and the other creature must be within, I believe it's 1 mile. Yes, 1 mile of each other. Sorry, I know that's a long description. A creature can end the telepathic connection at any time. The first time you use this power after a long rest, you don't expend psionic energy dice. All other times you use this power, you expend the die. That's really good because a lot of parties like to split up. So it's nice to see they have something. They still have that feature. It's nice. Now, level 3, you get your Psychic Blades. This is what gets me excited. You can manifest shimmering blades of psychic energy. Whenever you take the attack action or make an opportunity attack, you can manifest a psychic blade in your free hand and make the attack with that blade. The magic blade has the following traits. It is a simple melee weapon. Damage on hit is a D6 psychic, plus the ability modifier used for the attack roll. It has the finesse and thrown properties, and unlike your normal dagger, it has a range of 60 to 120 feet. It also has the new weapon mastery known as Vex. You can use this property, and it doesn't count against the number of properties you can use with weapon mastery. Now, the blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses a target, and leaves no mark if it deals damage. After you attack with the blade on your turn, you can make a melee or ranged attack with a second psychic blade as a bonus action on the same turn if your other hand is free to create it. The damage die for this attack is 1d4 instead of 1d6. So, you can essentially go and attack the heck out of somebody. Now, at level 9, these become Soul Blades. You now have the following powers with your Psychic Blades. Homing Strikes. If you make an attack roll with your Psychic Blade and miss the target, you can roll one psionic energy dice and add the number rolled to the attack roll. If this causes the attack to hit, the die is expended. Then you also gain Psychic Teleportation. As a bonus action, you can manifest a Psychic Blade, expend one energy die, and roll it, and throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see that's equal to 10 times the number rolled. You then teleport to that space, and the blade vanishes. So that's a very Naruto thing, and I like it. Now, at level 13, you gain Psychic Veil. You can weave a veil of psychic static to make yourself, as a magic action, invisible. You gain that condition for 1 hour, or until you dismiss this effect with no action required. This invisibility ends immediately after you take damage to a creature, or force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest, or expend a psychic energy die to do so. Now, at level 17, you can Rend the Mind. You can sweep your psychic blades through a creature's mind. When you use your psychic blades to deal sneak attack damage to a creature, you can force that target to make a wisdom saving throw with your DC. If the save fails, the target is stunned for 1 minute. The stunned target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend 3 psychic energy die to restore your use of it. I like the resource pool, I do, and that's a really good effect. Alright, friendly reminder to hydrate. Okay, so moving on to the classic, the Thief. A mix of burglar, treasure hunter, and explorer, you are the epitome of an adventurer. In addition to improving your agility and stealth, you gain the abilities useful for delving into ruins and getting the maximum benefit of the magic items you find there. At level 3, you get Fast Hands. As a bonus action, you can do one of the following. You can make a sleight of hand check to pick a lock or disarm a trap using thieves' tools or to pick a pocket. You can use an object to utilize. You can take the utilize action or take the magic action to use a magic item that requires that action. You also gain second story work. You've trained to get into especially hard to reach places, granting you the following benefits. You gain climb speed equal to your speed, and you can determine your jump distance using your dex rather than your strength. This is huge, because as a rogue, you're not exactly super swole. At level 9, you gain Supreme Sneak. You gain the following Cunning Strike option, Stealth Attack. It costs you 1d6. If you have the Hide action's invisible condition, this attack doesn't end that condition on you if you end the turn behind 3/4 cover or total cover. Level 13, use Magic Device. You've learned how to maximize the use of magic items, granting you the following benefits. You can attune up to 4 magic items at once. Whenever you use a magic item property that expends charges, roll 1d6, and on a 6, you can use the property without expending the charge. Scrolls. You can use any spell scroll using intelligence as your spellcasting ability for the spell. If the spell is a cantrip or a level 1 spell, you can cast it reliably. If the scroll contains a higher level spell, you must first succeed on a Intelligence Arcana check with a DC of 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, you cast the spell from the scroll. On a failed check, the scroll disintegrates. Then at level 17, you gain Thief's Reflexes. You are adept at laying ambushes and quickly escaping danger. You can take 2 turns during the first round of any combat. You can take your first turn at your normal initiative and your second turn at your initiative minus 10. I like that. That's pretty good. That's extremely handy. Heck yeah, man. Rogue's got some love in this one. Yeah. Excuse me while I struggle to turn a page. Blah. So, next time we will be going over the Sorcerer. Sorcerers are very different from your traditional wizard and spellcaster, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to doing the next one. And don't forget to share my stuff, like the channel, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Alright, bye-bye.